Hi girls, so today I'm going to show you how I did my Hawaiian shirt mani. Let me see if that helps. Okay, so right here, and I was trying to match a Hawaiian shirt, which I did pretty close to exact. So I'm just going to show you how I did it. Some of the girls really liked it. So I started out with using LA colors, so Dollar Tree, pretty inexpensive, and this one here it's a color 508 by LA Colors, and all I did was do one coat on here just to save, make it a little bit faster and easier. So one coat of this, and then the other color I'm going to use is this one here, and it's number 424, also Dollar Tree, LA Colors. And so I started out, and I'm just going to sponge some color, one color on one side and one color on the other side. So I already got this one on, so let's put a little bit of dark on here. And you could do it, if you want it to have the gradation kind of, going down in almost like horizontal lines. You can do your ombre that way if you want to, typical ombre. But this is how I'm doing it. And, I just kind of want it to, I wanted to match that shirt. So we're just going to kind of do this around, however you want it to look. But we're just going to add some of the dark and kind of sponge it, on. And then I'm going to go, and I think I'll add a little bit more. So I did like 2 times, I think, for each color, but you can do it 2 or 3, however till you get it the way that you like the way it looks. And so this is what I'm doing. Now your nails probably aren't going to be this long, so it'd be a lot faster and less area to cover. So we got some dark on there with the lighter now, and you could stop there if you wanted to, because actually that would probably work perfect. But just to show you what I did do some of the lighter blue, the same as the base, that one base coat, that one coat of polish. And of course you can do whatever blues that you want to do, lighter and darker. And so I'm just going to kind of add back in some of that layered lighter color in there, and you could do more than that if you wanted to, but you don't need to. And at this point, if you're using gel polish, you could put a protective layer over there if you want to, if you're worried about messing it up, but you don't have to. I didn't. So the next layer that we're going to do is we're going to stamp this background, which I'm going to show you what that looks like. So it's with the Lena Summer plate, and it's Summer 02 plate, so that we could get, there we go. I hope you can see it better now. These little palm trees for our background. I love this background. It's awesome. So that's what we're going to do, and that's exactly how the shirt had it as well. So I'm using this. I love this blue, Born Pretties. It's kind of a baby blue, and this is what we're going to use. The plate we're using, like I said, is Lena Summer 02. Love this for tropical, stuff. This is the image right here, right there. We're going to use. Okay? All right. So just, stamp as usual. We're just going to put some polish on here, stamping polish, and then we're going to scrape it. And I'm using my Maniology Was Bundle Monster scraping card and Clear Jolly Big Bling stamper. And I'm not going to worry about getting the edge just because I know this is narrower. But I'm just going to show you essentially, how this looks on here. So we're just going to stamp it like that. Like that. There we go. And you can see there's the background. Really pretty. And I'll show you, one that I already have done. That's completely done. There you go. Like that one. So hopefully you can see that good. I love that. It's even cool by itself. And for any kind of image you want to put over it, actually, it would be awesome. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to show you also a regular, I had a request to show some regular, more regular size type nails. And so there's that. That's what it looks like on there. And then next, so on these I only did 2 different, patterns. So on these 2 middle ones, we're going to do, you know, that on here, and I'll show you how I did this. And then these two here, I did a little bit different, a little simpler, a little different, and we'll do those too. So real quick, let me clean off my stamper with my lint roller. And then we're going to go ahead, since that one already has, you know, the palm trees done, we're going to go to the next part. So on these ones here, I did some leaves, you know, back behind. Now, if your nails are bigger, you know, like the first one I showed you, then I would probably start out with using a bigger, like a big fern leaf or something, which they have right here. But I didn't on mine. So we're going to go ahead and do it on this size here, and we'll just do what I did, which is, so I use these right here, and they kind of, when you scrape them, you got to kind of scrape them with your card down towards the table, so you don't get a void, a blank space, because it's more, I mean, a hole, so it's more like a blank space kind of image on this one. This one not. If you wanted the bigger fern ones, then you know, but this is what I used. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I used this color here, and this is you know, BMC by Maniology, and I will put all the colors and everything in the box below, information box below. So we're going to go ahead and just do these three right now. And so I'm just going to kind of put my card kind of lower, and I still got a little bit of a void, but I'm not going to worry about it because I am going to stamp over that with a lighter color. So if you don't get it exactly perfect, don't worry about it. See how I got that little void? That's why you want to make sure your card's down enough. And I like to scrape usually at a diagonal. I usually get it just right, but so anyway, I'm going to kind of, I don't want to put it exactly in the center. I want to offset just a little bit. I am going to kind of put it up though. So like that. So like that. Okay. And then on these two on mine, I put one lower, one higher, and both offset a little bit to the opposite direction. And the same I did with these two, opposite sides. Just a little bit makes it more interesting. I like it better than if you put it straight on in the center. So we're going to go ahead and do the lighter color, and that's kind of a super pale mint, kind of, well, it's kind of a seafoam to mint color. And I'm just going to do the same exact image, and I'm going to do it over the other one. Let's see if I can get it without getting a void this time. Sometimes I'm a little heavy-handed, and so even if I do put my card down, I might get a little teeny void. But I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a shadow stamp with this, just a little bit offset, if you can see that, I hope. So there's a little bit of the darker green showing. And we're going to put our flower over this, so if you do get a little teeny void like I got right there, don't worry about it, because the flower, you know, is going to cover part of that, or all of it anyway. So that's what I did on mine. And then next, I'm going to use this kind of a pale baby pink, and I'm going to use Born Pretty's white. And I'm just going to do, I'll show you the flower I'm using. And this one is on Lena Plate Summer 03, and I love this plate too. It's so awesome for tropical, gorgeous images. And so we're going to do that flower right there. Okay, that big one right there. Okay, so I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to put white on part of it. I'm going to put some white on part of it, and then pink on the rest of it. And that way it saves me a little time instead of having to stamp twice, you know, once with white and then once with pink. I can just do it all at the same time. So I'm going to do the top half or third in white, and then I'm going to do the rest of it in pink, and then I'm going to scrape and pick it up with my stamper, and I'm going to get off what I don't want. So there it is, and then I'm just going to put it on here about a little offset, but pretty close to center of that. So there you go. Now if this has got a little more white than it does pink, and also, you know, so if you want your pink to show up better, if you did the whole image in white first and then you did the pink and the white over it, but you know, you don't want to get too like full of paint. I mean, like it's, like you don't want to lose your details, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I am going to go and just go over that bottom part that I did in pink. I'm going to go over those bottom petals one more time, pick it up and go over my pink on my flower a little bit because I want it to show a little more pink than it is right now. So that would just be this much down here. See, that's all I had in the pink originally. I'm going to line it up like that and just, there you go. Okay, so there's our flower, and you could be done there if you wanted to be. You know, other than I do have one more leaf I want to add, and that's just because on that t-shirt, that's what it looked like it had, this other leaf that's on here, and it's on this other image, so that works out great. So on this other flower up here, it's a little bit smaller flower, has more leaves with it. We're using that bigger one right there. We're going to add it to our image that we're working on, our design. So I'm going to do it in this dark green this time, and just that leaf, and I'm going to scrape it and roll it, take off what I don't want. So all I'm doing is that little leaf right there. You can see it, okay? And then I'm going to add that down here, little offset down towards the bottom of that flower. I hope you can see that. Okay, so there it is right there. It's that dark green one. We're going to do that light green, same light green, kind of mint green, and we're going to do it over that. And we'll try and leave just a little bit, you know, of a shadow or highlight or whatever you want to call it when you're doing it lighter. Okay, take off what I don't want. That doesn't look like much. There it is right there. And we're just going to go over it. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to go over that exact same one like that. Okay, like that. Just like that. So it's right down there. I hope you can see it good. So there's our image. That's our design, what we have going so far. And you could stop right there and do a top coat over it if you wanted to. But on mine, I wanted to add a little bit more of the darker pink. Now, you know, you could do that with the polish if you wanted to. I happen to do it with watercolors. I just like the way it looks. So I just use this. I will put it down in the information box, and it's just Ceram coats. You know, it's kind of a little bit darker than that baby pink. And I got a little cup of water over here, and I'm just using a, you know, striping brush. You can see it. This is by Light Elegance striping brush. I don't know if I hope my light is showing you. How about like that? Okay, anyway, so I'm just going to dip it in some water, and I just have a little tile. Kind of got a little bit too much paint. I don't want that much because I really do want to kind of just really, you know, water it out. And all I'm going to do is, if you can see in mine, is I just add a little darker in that lighter pink. In the lighter pink and white. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of add it just like that. That's all. See? Just a little bit. Not a big deal. Really easy. Super, super easy. Let me see it a second. I might want to do just a little bit more. A little bit watered down. Maybe up towards this. A little more on the white and a little more down there. Okay? And there it is. So I just did that. So I want to let it dry for a minute. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit, you know, darker color, like just a teeny bit, let me show you. If you wanted even more contrast and you wanted to add a little bit darker pink to the pink I just added, you could, you know, add a teeny bit of this, you know, a teeny bit of a darker pink. But I didn't for these. I just left it, so this right here. And the only thing else I did on these is the white stamen that's on here, and it's got little pollen, you know, dots. Okay, where is it? It's right here. Little pollen dots. I added some yellow to that. So here's my Born Pretty Yellow, and you can just use a dotting tool if you want to. You can use your brush. I just took a little dotting tool, and I took the smallest, you know, smallest little dotter I could. And then all I did was, and you can kind of dot off on your tile to make sure you don't get too much. And you can do it in, you know, actual dots if you want to, or you can just add a little yellow so the white part shows up, you know, better. Okay, let me turn it this way a second. Get a little bit more yellow. Okay, hopefully you can see it. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more yellow down that so that it shows up. Maybe another little dot there. Okay, so that it matches these right here. And that's all I did on this one here. And then I just put a top coat. So I'll let this dry for a minute. And then we're going to just do, I'll show you. So I basically did on these other two, I did the same flower, but I didn't do the complete flower. I offset it, and then the only thing different I did is the leaf. So in the leaf on it, I'll use this one here. All I did was on here, there's a really big fern right there, and I just used this same one, kind of an apple green, and I just stamped this fern one. So let me get off the excess I don't want. Okay, so there's the big fern one, and then we're just going to put it on here. And so all I did was I wanted it to be, you know, down like that on there, so I just kind of offset it like that. You can see it. Now you could double stamp that if you wanted to. You know, if you wanted to have more of a contrast, you could even do it in a darker, oops, put those little babies down. You could have it in the darker green, and then that lighter mint green if you wanted to. You could do it in this apple green with the mint green over it if you wanted to, but I didn't on my mani. So I'm just showing you how I did, you know, my mani. So we're just gonna go ahead and I'll show you, you know, that I did that flower, same way, except that, okay, so where is it? So I need my white, and so this time I think I'll just go ahead and do it all in white, and let's do it that way. Get off what we don't want. There we go. So there it is, just in white. And we're going to go ahead and let me see how I offset it. So I basically offset it like that. Okay? So, you know, but you could put it on whatever side you want. And if your nail were actually this big, you might want to do, you know, either another fern or two on themselves, or another flower and fern somewhere, you know, else on it. But anyway, we're doing it like this. And so if you want this pink now, you could do the watercolor if you wanted to right now, or you can stamp the pink on there. So let's just go ahead and we'll stamp it, just some of those petals. I'm not going to stamp the whole thing in pink. I'm just going to stamp like maybe 2/3 of this flower in the pink, and just go right over what I already did. Let's get off that, I don't want. So see, I'm just doing that much, and I'm just going to line it up with this flower, and I'm going to just stamp, wait a minute, there we go, just line it up like that, and I'm just added some pink to it, so you can do it either way. The first way I did it, where I just did white and pink on this, and you know, did it the first time, or you can do it like that, and that way it gives a little more, you know, a little more pop to the pink when it's got white behind it, especially when it's on a dark color like that. So anyway, so we got that, and so now we're just going to add a little bit of that pinker with the watercolor. Right down there. And you get it. So, And you can, just play with the consistency until you get it like you want it. So we're just gonna add, a little bit just in here, kind of like that. And you can add as little or as much, as you want. But that's good. Just like that. Let it dry. And then you can add the yellow or not yellow. See where the stamina is and it's all white? You can add some yellow dots on that if you want to, or not. You could even use yellow paint if you wanted to, or not. Whatever you have and you want to use. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to do again with this yellow Born Pretty and the dotting tool. And I'm just going to get a little bit on my here, and I'm just going to go over this little stamen to add a little bit more to it. And if you want perfect little dots, you could do that too, but you don't have to. So there we go. We got some more yellow on there that we added, and that's it. That's how I did here and here, just like that. And then so you just let it dry, and then you're going to put a top coat over it. Now you could put a matte top coat over it. You can use shiny top coat, regular polish, and you could use a shinier matte gel top coat if you wanted to. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this one, and I'm just going to use my Bundle Monster and put a coat of top coat over it. And I love this. This is by Maniology. It's their smudge-free top coat. It's awesome for stamping. It works great. So I just go down the middle with a generous, coat, and then swipe down the sides, just like that. Yep, no smudging. Works awesome. I love this mani. It's just so fun, bright, cheery, really soft and pretty also. So my Hawaiian shirt mani. So I hope you have fun doing this. Give it a try. Have some fun with it. I'm going to go ahead and add a top coat real quick over this one too. This was our other one, and we'll just do it like that, like that, like that. Easy peasy. There's that one, and we'll go ahead and we're going to put that on here too. Let's put them together actually. And then the one I already, oops, don't want to mess it up. Okay, so there they are. That's the ones that we did today, and here it is on the more regular size nail also, so hopefully you can see that really good. Love them, beautiful. So have fun. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you'll get a notice on my next new tutorial, which will be really soon. Thank you. Bye guys.